I will just preface this video by saying that I am attending an A+ convenience store. That is where today's snacks will come from. It's a Sunoco station, and here is the street it's located on, if anybody cares. Greetings and welcome to the latest episode of Preserve the 80s. I realize it's been a long time since I've made a video. There have been a few reasons behind that. For one thing, inflation has just been a big problem. It was difficult for me to afford making the videos as it was, but now with the prices being as high as they are, I just don't have the money to go out very often to buy very much. Other reason is that I ended up getting COVID, and with my rather poor immune system, I ended up with the long COVID, so while I'm no longer contagious, I have symptoms that are going to be with me for who knows how long. Very tired all the time, low energy. My capacity to smell anything is greatly decreased. Short-term memory is all but gone. What little coordination I once had is pretty much gone to the wayside as well, so I haven't really been feeling well enough most days to go out much. I've been to work in person, I think, twice in the past 3 months, so times have certainly been better. Actually, due to the inflation issue, I've been thinking of changing the format of this channel a bit to a more like a cooking type of channel. If anybody leaves a comment, let me know what you think about that. Something in the vein of the Lorne reality show with what he does when he makes his food and such. Only I won't be in the trailer of failure. I will be in my house, which is kind of like a trailer. It's sort of like a double wide, basically. It's about that size. But it's not in a park. It's not in Cornville either. Well, Lawrence trailer's not in a park, but at this point I'm rambling. Time to get back on the subject, which is that I'm making another convenience store snack video. Something I haven't done in a few years. But it's getting back to the basics, going back to my roots of what I'm all about. So hopefully you will enjoy taking this journey with me. Went to an A+ convenience store. I was going to go to 7-Eleven originally, but the one closest to me is closed, and the next closest one was more of a drive than I felt like taking today. It's there's some snow, it's icy, I just didn't really want to go for a long drive. So I went to an A+ convenience store. I've never seen one apart from a Sunoco station. I don't know if they're co-branded or what exactly that deal is, but that is where I went. And you saw that in the beginning of the video. Start out with a Slim Jim because, as I told you back in 2018, snapping into a Slim Jim is the perfect way to launch into any endeavor, be it a video or a day at the office or school, an athletic event, a legal undertaking, whatever you're doing. If you want to do it your best, start with the Slim Jim. It'll give you that kick of energy that you need. They don't have Slurpees there like at 7-Eleven, but they have these slush puppies, which are essentially the same thing. It's a blue raspberry flavor. This was the largest cup that they had, which kind of surprised me. It's pretty good. Alright, so I guess we will start out, well, we already started, we will move on to potato sticks. Daily Fresh brand. Daily Fresh is based out of Hyde Park, New York. And they have a little message for us, so I'll read that. Our potato sticks are julienne cut from the finest fresh potatoes. We cook them until they're golden brown and season them to perfection. Our finished product has a potato chip flavor with extra crunch. Using the finest tasting ingredients makes Daily Fresh the potato stick of choice. Well, we'll see. My potato stick of choice up until this moment is Butterfield. They make the best potato sticks I've ever experienced, but we'll see if Daily Fresh can step into the ring and box with them. Not sure just yet, I need to try some more. Well, Butterfield is still number one, but Daily Fresh, if Butterfield is not available, it's a good choice. I would go with them. Now, some things change with time, some things do not, but one thing that you can always rely on is that I will continue to consume, support, and preach the value of corn nuts. Corn nuts are a snack that you want to be seen with. If people see you eating corn nuts, they'll know that you're not someone to be trifled with. They'll know that you're not somebody who can be pushed around, even if you are. You can put up the front of being a more assertive and bold and dynamic individual if you have some corn nuts in your corner. Perfect as always. Next up are these Barnum's Animal Crackers. I've always loved animal crackers, and well, I haven't been to a circus in a very long time. I did go to one when I was about 8. It was the Clyde Beatty and Cole Brothers Circus, and a tiger, it was a white tiger, I believe, happened to relieve itself in solid form. And the smell was so pungent and fierce that it caused, I would say, 75% of the people to leave the circus. It was that bad. My family tried to stick it out, but eventually we had to go as well. They have this updated packaging that shows the animals. There's a zebra, an elephant, a lion, a giraffe, a zebra, elephant, lion, giraffe, and a gorilla. That's what they show on the cover, but on the back they show a different set of animals. A lion, seal, hippopotamus, koala, and elephant. So 2 out of those 5 are on the picture. No, I stand corrected. It says more animals inside. So maybe everybody on the cover will be in the box. Plus seals and hippopotamuses, or hippopotami, I don't know what the plural is, and koalas. We'll find out. I'm glad they've set the animals free because I like the idea of animals enjoying themselves and having a good time and such, but I mean, the classic packaging had a certain appeal to it, had that fresh out of the circus feeling. And I just don't like it how they're changing the packaging up on everything lately. I mean, I'm 100% against any form of animal cruelty, but showing animals in a circus cage on a box of cookies isn't really going to hurt anything that much. I don't think any kid ever saw that and said, hey, I feel like going out and caging a lion today and depriving it of its joys in life, or I don't think anybody was inspired to create a circus in which they mishandled their animals because of these cookies, but I digress. First we have a giraffe, and we also have, I believe that's an elephant. They're slightly darker in color than I remember them being. Feel a bit grittier to the hand, but maybe they still taste the same. Yes, they do in fact have that same crisp texture and vaguely lemon-like flavor. Don't know where that comes from because I don't believe there's any lemon in them that I've remembered. Let's see. Yeah, no lemon in the ingredients, so I don't know what gives it that flavor, but something does. They taste very similar to the McDonald's Land cookies that used to come in Happy Meals before everything went to hell. There are 2 new flavors of Twix bars out. We have, actually I made a mistake here. This is cookies and cream, which I did not mean to purchase. I meant to get the salted caramel, because that's the new one. Cookies and cream I've had before, they're very good, but they aren't what I meant to purchase. Kind of an example of my COVID-induced brain fog, some of the type of mistakes I'm making on a regular basis. But I did get the cookie dough flavor, so we will try that out and see how it performs. They call this the share size. I guess king size was too patriarchal or heteronormative for people's tastes. You have a problem with king size candy bars, I don't want you watching this channel anyway. But yes, here's cookies and cream Twix, or not cookies and cream, cookie dough Twix. Very good. Dare I say it, these are better than the cookies and cream. Especially the new incarnation of the cookies and cream Twix. They're pretty good, but there's this odd hint of almost a vodka-like flavor to them, which are absent in the cookie dough flavor, so that's a good thing. Why can't people just let snacks be snacks and not turn everything into some sort of debate over who's oppressing who, or all this other balderdash that's just meant to stop us from paying attention to the real issues and solving the real problems of life? Just keep us all at each other's throats over non-issues that are made into issues, and we'll just let the powers that be continue to do the things that they do that we're not supposed to complain about. But anyway, iced golden pound bread. I don't know why this is called pound bread instead of pound cake. Let's try it and see. That's something I could have done without. It was overpoweringly sweet to the point that a blue raspberry flavored slush puppy was unsweet enough to balance it out in my mouth and to make me not feel like I was going to die from diabetic shock. I mean, that was just bad. If the Pillsbury Doughboy had IBS, that's probably what he would excrete. We're going to finish up here with gummy worms. Stone Creek brand. They are based at 180 Avocado Street, Springfield, Massachusetts. And they have a little message for us too. Thank you for purchasing Stone Creek quality products. Enjoy. No cholesterol, no trans fat. Please try all of our products: pistachios, cashews, sunflower seeds, mixed nuts, peanuts, honey cashews, almonds, honey peanuts, fruit and nut mix, cranberry mix, trail mix, much more. I find it odd that they chose to not mention any of their candies. They focus more on their salty snacks, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with salty snacks, but I think gummy worms, you'd expect them to talk about alternate candies too. They had another flavor in there of candy called sour watermelon belts. But I almost got those because I've never had a candy belt before. But they were coated in a very granular substance that looked like it wasn't going to agree with my teeth. I've been having some dental problems too. So I chose not to get those. I got these classic gummy worms instead. Oh, they're much shorter than typical gummy worm, as you can see. A bit more firm. It's a classic green and yellow lemon lime. On the subject of lemon and lime, there's been a new soda introduced called Starry. It's I think it's made by Pepsi, and it's basically a Diet Sierra Mist. If you've had Diet Sprite, you've had Starry. It's not really worth getting excited over. Well, that's about all there is to cover today. I apologize that the first video in this many months wasn't that great, didn't show you that many things, but hopefully I have broadened your horizons a little bit with some of the products I've presented. And now you know to stay clear of any product that calls itself pound bread instead of pound cake, because pound bread will be much sweeter and has a mealy, wet, formless kind of texture. It's just really unpleasant. I would not ever recommend eating it unless you like that kind of thing. But with that, I will bid you farewell. I will just preface this video by saying that I am attending an A+ convenience store. That is where today's snacks will come from. It's a Sunoco station, and here is the street it's located on if anybody